If you look back at the big important franchises in gaming history, chances are Wolfenstein will come up at some point. With Bethesda now owning the IP and the series making a resurgence in the last few years, we have a new entry coming out on the 26th of July 2019, so here's a quick preview and history into the newest entry, Youngblood. Just before we get into this video, I'm just going to say there's a lot of German pronunciations and I'm going to get most of them wrong, so I apologise for that. So let's get into the video. The franchise started off as a stealth adventure game called Castle Wolfenstein in 1981 and is often credited as one of the first stealth games made, as the player needs to try and avoid guards rather than kill them, which is seen as a last resort. In 1984, a sequel was released called Beyond Castle Wolfenstein. This game was much the same as the first, but this time the player needs to retrieve a bomb placed inside the bunker the game takes place in and put it outside of Hitler's room where he's holding a meeting. In 1992, the series changed completely with Wolfenstein 3D, this time developed by id Software. This game sees you play as William B.J. Blazkowicz, an American spy sent to sabotage the enemy who is apprehended by the Nazis. You need to escape the castle whilst also finding out about Operation Eisenfaust and destroy it. This game was a big deal, by the way, and is still seen as one of the titles that popularised the first-person shooter genre. In the same year, we also got Spear of Destiny, also made by id Software, but published by From Gem Corporation rather than Apogee Software. The game once again sees you play as Blazkowicz, but this time you have to reclaim the Spear of Destiny that was taken by the Nazis from Versailles. In 2001, the series got another reboot, this time by Grey Matter Interactive, called Return to Castle Wolfenstein. Once again, playing as Blazkowicz, you have to fight your way out of the castle whilst also trying to stop one of Heinrich Himmler's personal projects, Operation Resurrection. 2003 brought us Wolfenstein Enemy Territory, developed by Splash Damage. This game didn't have a story but was instead a multiplayer experience. The game was originally meant to be an expansion but was instead released by Activision as a standalone title. After getting a mobile title in 2008 with Wolfenstein RPG, we got the 2009 title simply named Wolfenstein. This time, Blazkowicz discovers a medallion containing supernatural powers on a mission aboard a German gunship. Going to the fictional town of Eisenstadt, you must try and stop the Nazis from excavating the rare Nacht Sun crystals needed to access the Black Sun dimension. In 2014, we got a soft reboot of the franchise with Wolfenstein: The New Order, set in a new timeline where the Axis powers won World War II. After a failed mission to assassinate the General Deathshed, Blazkowicz sustains a serious head injury that puts him in a coma until 1960. Once waking up, you discover the Nazis won World War II, and after escaping an asylum with a wounded nurse called Anya, BJ operates in the shadows to find the resistance to bring down the Nazis. This title was developed by Machine Games and published by Bethesda Softworks. Just a year later, a standalone expansion was released with Wolfenstein The Old Blood. This game was a soft remake of Return to Castle Wolfenstein in that the story was very similar, with many characters returning as well. In 2017, we got the latest game in the franchise with Wolfenstein 2 The New Colossus. Set 5 months after the New Order, Blazkowicz wakes up from a coma he was put in during the aftermath of a near-fatal explosion. During the game, the leader of the resistance, Caroline Becker, is killed, so BJ takes over and initiates the plan to liberate America from the Nazis. Finally, we get to the present day and the newest installment coming out very soon. This time the game revolves around twin sisters Jessica and Sophia Blazkowicz, the twin daughters of BJ and Anya Oliver. The game can also be played either solo or in co-op, as you control the sisters on a mission to Paris to locate and reclaim their father BJ. This time the game is being developed by Machine Games in collaboration with Arcane Studios and once again is being published by Bethesda. The levels have been opened up with branching paths to help with 2 players being on each level. This means that there'll be plenty of ways to outmaneuver enemies and flank them to get the upper hand. Both sisters wear power armor type suits, which can be upgraded and will wield a vast array of weapons to take down the enemy. One thing that isn't clear yet is if the events of the previous game mean that the whole of America has been liberated, or if that will happen in the next installment. Another thing to note, of course, is this isn't a numbered sequel but a spin-off title, so any major events to the story of the world will most likely be kept for Wolfenstein 3, which is confirmed to be in development. All in all, this game is looking like something a bit different, with the co-op gameplay and the extra tactical decisions that might bring. Also, if you buy the deluxe edition, you'll be able to play with friends on a different console without them having to own the title at all. Doing this, you'll both be able to play through the entire game, which is a really nice touch from Bethesda. Hopefully this game lives up to the pedigree of its predecessors and we get a great co-op first-person shooter this summer. I really hope you enjoyed this video. I'm Jack and this has been Games to You.